Hello everyone, I'm Vinay and welcome back to AI Champ YouTube channel. In this video, we'll learn about virtual environments and how you can create, activate, deactivate, and delete them. Also, we'll understand what a requirements.txt file is all about. So let's start. Now, to understand virtual environments, we first need to understand how different programs work. Suppose any program, it will use some codes like import numpy, import pandas, and something like this. So this means that for this particular program, numpy and pandas are dependencies, and we need to install numpy and pandas first to be able to use this particular program. Now these packages have different version numbers. So for numpy, the version can be 0.7.1, it can be 1.0.3, it can be 1.3.2, anything like this. So all these packages will contain such version numbers. So these are versions. Now this program might be written in such a way that it works on this particular version and also for this, but not for this. So that means that this particular program requires versions greater than 1.0.3 and so on. So this is working for this particular program, but this is not, this particular version does not works for this program. So that means that we need to specifically install NumPy version greater than this. Now, when we do not use any kind of virtual environment, so that means that all the packages are installed globally. So there is one folder wherein all the packages such as NumPy, Pandas, and all those packages are installed and stored. But now understand that you have two programs. Let us call it as program 1 and program 2. Now this requires NumPy version say 0.7.1 and this requires NumPy 1.3.2. And currently, let us assume that you have version 0.7.1 installed globally. So this is the version that you currently have, and you have these two programs. Now, initially, when you start to execute program 1, it should work fine. So this is working fine because you have the necessary version installed. But in this case, program 2, you do not have the necessary version. So what you do, so initially it will not work, then you update the version. So update, because it is not working here, so you update your current system numpy, and you now get 1.3.2. So after the update, this particular program 2 is working fine. But when you start to execute this program 1, this does not work. This is because you currently have this particular version which might not be compatible with this program. So this is an issue, and virtual environments are there to solve such things. So what virtual environments do is, instead of having just one version, you create a folder. So let us call it as venv1, and let us also create venv2. In this is a folder and this is also a folder, and inside it what you can do is you can install numpy 0.7.1, and you inside this you can install numpy 1.3.1. So both of these packages are installed separately in two different folders. So these are nothing but folders. So these folders are actually called as the virtual environments, wherein we have specified particular development environment and installed the packages in this case. Now, if you want to run program 1 and program 2, we know that this particular program requires this version and program 2 requires this version. So what we can do is we can activate VNV1, that is virtual environment 1. And whenever we try to execute this particular code, it will always use NumPy from this. And here we activate VNV2. So in this case, it will take NumPy from this version. That means that there will be no such problem related to versions of different packages. So that is all these virtual environments are about. Now let us try to understand how we can create, activate, deactivate, and delete the virtual environments. So to do that, let us open the terminal. So this is my terminal. And to create a virtual environment, you need to install Python first. So in my case, it is already installed. Now you need to see the version of Python. So you'll see that I have Python 3.8.5 installed in my system. What I will do is to create a virtual environment, we just need to type Python -m and venv, and here we just need to pass the folder name of virtual environment. So let us just simply keep it as venv only and run this code. So you can see that in this case, there is this one folder created called as venv, which is our virtual environment folder. And what we can do is to activate the virtual environment, we just need to write this code. We just need to write source venv bin activate in Linux. So when we run this, you'll see that there is venv written over here. So that means that we are using this particular virtual environment. In case of Windows, we can activate it using source venv and scripts slash activate dot bat. So this is a way in which you can activate your virtual environment in Windows, but we are not using Windows in this case. So we'll stick with our source venv bin activate. So now if you want to see what all packages are installed currently in this virtual environment, we can do that using pip list. So in this case, you can see that we have pip installed in this virtual environment and setup tools. Now, suppose if you want to install NumPy, what we can do is we can simply install it using pip install NumPy. And if you want to specify a version, then you can write simply equals equals and 1.2.1, something like this. So in our case, let us not go there, just need to install NumPy as it is. So let us just run this code and it will install NumPy package for us. So here it is installed in our system, not the global one, but in this particular virtual environment. And how we can check that is again using pip list. So in this case, you can see that there is a NumPy package that is installed and a specific version allotted to it. Now, how to go outside this virtual environment is you just need to type deactivate, and that is it. We are outside of this particular virtual environment. And in case if you need to delete this virtual environment, we just need to delete this folder. So we can directly delete it or just use from terminal, and this will delete it. So let us just create the virtual environment again. Python -m venv, and we have created this virtual environment, and let us activate it. Source venv bin activate, and let us just simply install some packages. Let us install NumPy and Pandas. So we have installed NumPy and Pandas in our case, and just for sake of it, as let us assume that we create some code around this. So program.py, and so let us assume that we have this program files and all those things. We just need to remember one thing, that we do not touch this folder venv, and also we should not send it anywhere. Ideally we can send it, but it is of no use to other people. So whatever code we write, we do not put it inside this venv folder, because we should be able to always delete it and create it again. So now let us just assume that we have created some program uh, wherein we import numpy as np and import pandas as pd, and let us just print something. So np dot random dot rand int 110, and just pass it something like 2 3. Just this is just a random program, and suppose that we need to send it to someone else, so they should know what all packages are required to run this program. What we can do is, because we know that this particular program works well in this virtual environment, what we can do is we can provide a list of all the packages and their specific versions to the other person, so that they are able to create their own virtual environment. How we can do it is by using pip freeze. So pip freeze command, and we just output it as requirements.txt file. Now you can see that there is this requirements.txt file wherein all the packages that are required to run this particular code are mentioned with the specified versions. So let us just assume that we send this program.py file along with requirements.txt file, basically the whole code except for this virtual environment folder. So let us just deactivate it and delete this virtual environment. So let us assume that someone has sent the program code along with this requirements.txt file, and we want to run this code. So how we can do it is, the first thing that we need to do is we also need to create a virtual environment. So let us just create that venv, and virtual environment we can create. So once this virtual environment is created, we can activate, and yeah, so from this we can know that the virtual environment is activated, and we just need to install all the packages. Now we don't know, so we are not going to specifically do like pip install numpy equals 1.2 all those things. So rather we just need to install all the packages from this file. We just need to run this command pip install and give -r, and provide the file name. So it should be, so there is some typo. So we can just simply use this requirements.txt file, and it will install all the necessary packages that are there to run this code. So these are installed, and now we can easily run this program.py code, and we obtain the result. Okay, so that is it about virtual environments. Let us just go back and summarize it one more time. So the first thing that we understood it as, virtual environments are nothing but folders, and we can install packages in it. Then we understood how to create, activate, deactivate, and delete the virtual environment. So we can simply create it using Python -m venv, and the venv folder name. To activate it in Mac and Linux, we just need to use source venv bin activate. For Windows, it is source venv slash scripts slash activate dot bat. To deactivate, we just need to run this deactivate command. To delete it, we just need to delete the folder. And whenever we want to send the program to anyone, we just need to create requirements.txt file. That we can do it using pip freeze greater than symbol and requirements.txt file. And to install the packages, we can simply use pip install -r requirements.txt. So that is it for this particular video. I hope that you have understood what all these virtual environments are all about. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.